Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Monday, September the 5th. Starting with the 10-year yields here, we're on track. We've just watching it move up here, and I can just kind of see here that we've got a series of ones and twos in here, and then we've got this nice third wave. So we've probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we've got top of some third, fourth and fifth. So I guess what will happen in due course is that we will be moving up here somewhere in this high here as one, and then back for two here, and then 3, 4 and 5 up here for this top over here for that. Okay, so that's pretty much where we are here. Of course, wave 4, as I mentioned before, can get more complicated. We could put it over here. All of this could just be an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. But whichever way you look at it, we still need to move higher. We still need to take these highs out here. So I think we're on the right track at that particular point. And to the US dollar index here, just on the 2000 tick chart here, we've been talking about wave 4, and then we've seen it push up through here, and we talked about all of this last week, and we're continuing to see it move up. It has, I've got to kind of pull all this apart to find out if I need to put this wave 4 here or this wave 4 here for this. It's really sort of like a soggy bag here, isn't it? You know, so, but it has come back and retested the old highs to find support, and that's the way a market steps upstairs to, you know, to move higher. You know, we normally use the trading levels for that, but obviously it's all about the volume, you know, so yeah, it's just stepping up there. It's really nice. So, but from wave 4 here, we've got wave 1 and 2, looking up for wave 3, 4, 5 for the fifth wave of third, and then the fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave moving up here higher. Of course, I can also extend this up much higher as well. So this blue wave down here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I could treat that as wave 1 here and coming back for wave 2, and then continue higher at that point. But I think that we'll just see how it lines up with some of the other markets, like the 10-year yields. You know, they're pushing up, and while they're pushing up, the dollar becomes a bit attractive. So yeah, so that's that. But yeah, look, the 11,000 is going to see this market do a classic trading levels pattern across here, so something like this. So yeah, and then still further up at that point. So higher for the US dollar, not a problem. High for the 10-year yields, not a problem. So obviously the gold markets are struggling a little bit. So we've talked about wave 4 being in on this low just here for that, and that's fine. But if this low is breached by this move here, then we will need to put wave 4 over here for this, and then we will need to look at this I'll look at this spike here as part of all of this. But I will end up I'll either count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, which would be the logical thing to do, and everybody will be happy and they can't complain about that. So I'll just leave it at that. But that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. But yes, you will complain about this because it's got overlap at this particular point here. But I think it's important to follow that 5-wave structure down through here. So let's just go to the 5K tick chart where we were, because we've been counting 5 waves up here, and it was quite a nice 5 waves, so it was kind of worthy. But we'd always waited until that top was taken out to be able to go long at that point. I think we can pretty much remove these here. Silver has made a new low through here, and let's just go to the 5K tick chart. I haven't really changed it much since we last spoke, because I just sort of like, you know, we're looking at this as a possible low over here, and we had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and we could, well, this could be counted in a few different ways, but a little bit scruffy. But as this started to come down here, I noted that that if it was a wave 1 and 2, then it should be finished at this point here and continuing to move up from there. But just the ratio, the look and the feel of it, the size of this corrective pattern for the size of this, but coming over here just made it too big, you know. So I knew that there was a problem at that point. And yeah, so we'll probably have to look at this as, well, taking the next logical step, we'll look at that as wave 4 and then wave 5 down here. But it hasn't breached this low yet. So I'll give it, as I mentioned before, there will be support at the 17,000. There will be support at the old low. Let's just give it a little bit of time. We don't want to short it into this number anyway. So yeah, but otherwise we'll have to start counting down as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but I'll put a bit more work into that. When we look at GDX, for example, that has been moving down on point here. So yeah, so here we've been looking at this rally here as 3 wave move. And then down for 1 and back for 2. So we decided, as a possible short trade here once the closest largest number became the resistance, and that's fine. It dropped down to 25 is a medium level, and then we move into group 1 here of 20. So 21, 22, and 23. You can always expect a bounce off the 23. So, it doesn't matter what percentage I give, if it, it's like science, 99.9%, so there's always that chance that it won't, but most of the time better off expecting it than not expecting it, put it that way. So we'll see that move up. Let's just have a little look at Barrick Gold while we're here for the bigger picture. So yeah, we could count this up as an ABC for wave 4, in line with GDX. Well, this creates GDX with Newcrest Mining. So this would be a wave 1 and 2 here, and this will be a 3rd wave coming down. So we still need the 4th and the 5th wave to come down. So we're not there yet for this. That's but getting close. That's the thing. And yeah, I mean, one of our local gold stocks as well, Newcrest Mining. That's also got the same wave 4 here on this daily chart with 1 and 2 and going down for 3 here and looking for wave 4 and then down for wave 5. So they're all kind of in the same little boat, really. And in a way, the stock market is how I'm sort of seeing the stock market trying to finish off as well. The S&P 500, the NASI and all the rest of it. I still got to prove. I know I can see it coming lower, but I still need to prove the low in here for a rally at that point. But anyway, that's where gold is, and yeah. So hope that's helpful. It's just Barrick and spot gold. So we're not ready to buy spot gold yet. Now silver, this is a daily chart here. So we need to look at this as wave 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, and then going down for wave 5 here. So we noted this, was it this morning or yesterday or last week or something? We noted that it had moved through this low here. So we need to count this down in 5 waves here. So this structure here will be the same as stocks and everything else at that point. So look, we'll just monitor this here. I don't want to short it into the last ending part of the structure, and the 1650 here is the next major sort of point. I mean, the 16 and 17 is important, but for trade setups and everything else, we use the 1650 which is a medium level. So yeah, look, further downside, but we could probably expect a bit of a rally, while gold's still pushing up. We could probably even, we have to be careful we don't even come down further. That's the other point with this as well. So we'll need to give that some consideration. Lithium. So this lithium here, I can look into, it counts quite not, this is an ETF, by the way, this is LIT. So we can count this down here to this point as 5 waves into this point here. This little leg here looks like more like 3 waves. So we could look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here as 1, 2, 3, A, B, C for 4 and up for 5. But the problem with that is that the top of wave 1 here overlaps wave 4. So it gives it more of a corrective feel as an A, B, and C. So I don't know if we count this up as 5 waves. We could look at this as an A and a B and a C here for the end of it. We can just continue to move up at that point. And this can be wave 1 here with an ABC here for wave 2, and then continue up there. But it can also too, we could look at it I'll just make it simple here, but as an A wave here, then an ABC for the B wave here, and then a C wave coming down here even further. I could look at this too as an A and a B and a C for the A wave, back for the B wave, and up for the C wave here. How far up are we over this? So, well, pretty much in there, so I think we're okay with that one. But look, I just think as this unfolds a little bit further here, I'll get to see if this is going to be in 5 waves down here or 3 waves. That's going to be quite helpful for us on that note. And if we look at some lithium stocks, I'm just using Australia here for the time being. So with Australia, also for the Australians as well, beta shares have just put out this one here, well not just, but in July, with this code. And oh, this is uranium, sorry. Yeah, sorry, it's uranium one for that, sorry about that. Back to lithium, so Liontown is one. So with Liontown here, really for the Australians here, this certainly looks like a wave 4. It looks like it's lagging, and I'd kind of like to trade it, but the problem is it'll just go to $2, and then it's going to come back again for that point, you know, for that, and have a larger correction to come into play, and then a move up there. So it's all right to hold, I guess. There's a bit, this does appear corrective, so we'll just see how that goes. But I think the best structures are, this is Mineral Resources here that are obviously doing it, and I really like this pattern across here, but I like a sideways pattern because it's an accumulation phase, and then we're just here seeing this move up here as the distribution phase. So it appears that we've got like an impulse wave up here with our first corrective wave, and normally the wave A is normally the sharpest, and then wave B, and then wave C is a bit lazier. I suppose a bit like this. The wave A here is quite sharp, and then a B wave and a C wave. It came quite deep here. We'll see how deep it comes here. It's not quite ready yet, but you know, because when this was coming up here, we just said, oh no, we'll just chill on this. This has got to top and turn and develop here and rebalance, and we'll pick it up in the rebalance. And that's the same with IGO here as well. It's got a nice ABC pattern here. It's moving across the 13, which is a major level. It's got an impulse wave up here, but we haven't seen the rebalance of this just yet. The smaller ones, AKE here, it's the same sort of story. We'll just keep a bit of an eye on them. PLS is another one. It's all gung-ho. This top will be taken out. This one will probably keep going up to $4 somewhere, this one here. But I guess if you're going to go into these, you want to hold them longer term anyway. Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to get them on margin of any kind. And Liontown is the other one. Oh, I think we just looked at that, didn't we? So yeah. And I'll just go to the commodity section and have a look at lithium while we're here. I don't have it as oh, that's the gas one. I thought I had it here somewhere. No, okay. But anyway, just letting you know, I'm keeping an eye on lithium as such. So, but we're not ready to move on that yet. High grade copper. So, copper presents the same trend down as gold does, and with silver, for example, we're taking out the low here. I could look at this in different ways. I've been looking at it as a possible wave 4 here, as you know. In that space, so we could come down here further. I also like gold in a way. I can see that we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. So this will be an A wave in here. This doesn't count very nicely as a impulse wave, so we can put that as a B wave, and then a C wave into this box here, which is the 61.8% retracement level. So it's possible we could look at this as as a wave one up here for this, but I don't know yet. You know, this I just don't know. I'm not sure just yet. If we get a nice impulse wave up here and a pullback, something like this here, then we'll look for the setup and we'll get a part position and we'll build into it. I mean, if you were going to buy, then this is the place to buy it, right? But I want some evidence first, and then we'll go to the intraday. I want to see 5 waves up first, and having 5 waves up enables you. It tells you that I mean, in this case here, we've got 5 waves coming down, so we're going to get some sort of reaction anyway. So if you're, yeah, I mean, you could buy here technically, you know. I just wouldn't overdo it. But yeah, so we need to resolve this, because if gold's going to make a new low, and but I mean, this particular, as I mentioned before, copper's part of the green metals now, you know, and it's useful. You know, there's 4 tons in a windmill, and there's 8.5 ton of other green metals in windmills and turbines rather. And yeah, but how to count this here is I mean, we could count this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4, and then down for 5 here. That's one way of counting that, or we forget that and put this over here. But so I still doesn't help. It's not helpful if I put this as 1 here and 2 here, and then we've got a strong overlap there, so it doesn't kind of play out very nicely. So we still need to be a bit careful about this one here. We need, as it travels, as it starts to unfold further and further, it will become easier and easier. Okay, over to the energy sector. So I don't think we looked at XLE, the energy sector, much last week, but the week before we've done that and this that. So what I was looking for with the energy is that we were looking at this down here as wave A, and then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave that I was looking for to the upside for wave B, and then down for wave C over here for this. Right, that's what basically I'd been looking for. So we've got this A, B, and C wave in here, right? So that's cool. We could look at this as down for 1 and back for 2, and working down lower for this, you know. But at the same time, we want to have a look at the positive side. So this move down through here, you can count it as corrective. You know, it's not a straight impulse wave to the downside, so you can count it as corrective, whichever way you choose to do that. And if that is the case, well, we can put wave 4 there, and we can look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then we can look at this as wave 1 up here with wave 2 here. I mean, wave 2 is definitely not finished. We need another side of it over here. But what that will do, once I won't go to the intraday today, but this will be an A wave down here basically, and a B wave back up, and a C wave here. So that means that if this is going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, I'm not saying that it is, but it will leave that B wave high that we can go long on at that point. And if that's true, then we'll see a nice trend coming up through here for all of this. And this will be the same with ExxonMobil as well. We've been looking at that as well. So it's the same story. I don't know if I've got that here. Oh yeah, I do have it here. So I mean, obviously this is a 22% weight in that particular sector. So we can look at it as an A wave, a B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave of B, and that's the top there. So look, to make it very simple, in a nutshell, you can go long above that. I wouldn't sort of rush into it at that stage. I would want more of a setup to manage the exposure on the initial risk of the thing. So it would probably end up seeing something like this again here if that was going to go up again. So we'll just chill and move it. So this little move down here, it looks like this little move to this point here is like an A wave to here, do you know, 5 waves or something. It could be an A, B, and C, and that's the end of it, or it could be an A, B, and C up here, and then we come down for this side of it as well. There's a few things that can go on here. I mean, if you wanted to buy, then without leverage, well then this is the space to do it. A small position here and you can build up through here. But I can say to you that we don't have a proper setup yet that's going to give us a nice safe trade. We don't know yet. We don't know. We really want to kind of disprove this ABC pattern here. That's our thing, at the moment, because we're closer to, if this is going to be a big bullish market of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, then obviously we want to be on this, but we just need a little bit more information in here to help secure a move to the upside there, if that is indeed going to be the case. Yeah, otherwise we'll be back down here for this. It's a bit like the gas market as well, and the whole energy thing's a bit topsy-turvy, isn't it? I mean, you can get thrown out the 6-story window while you're trying to recuperate in hospital for these sort of things. So crude oil. Okay, so we were looking at we've been looking at this just in a very simple terms as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. And then, like gold, we had a nice little 5-wave move to the upside. I mean, it was quite nice, I mean, it was all sort of there. It wasn't, maybe there's a little bit of overlap here, and you could say, well, no, Pete, that's corrective now. So we need to look at that as an A, B, C for the A wave, and a B wave, and a C wave here. Like gold, we haven't taken out the low here. If we do take the low out here, then we can look at having, like with the stock market and the rest of it, will come down to around this level, maybe a tad lower, and we'll need to count 5 waves from here down to here for that. I don't think it's worth going short just yet. I mean, even though there's pressure to come down here further, I think a bit of patience, and this in the bigger picture is a corrective pattern. I've started to look at it as a WXY, and then look at this here as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the A wave, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and down for the C wave here, where I will count 5 waves down. But I don't know if that's the case yet. If I'd need to take that low out here first. Otherwise, we can pretty much stay with this being wave 1 up here and back for wave 2 at this point. But anyway, nothing to do here just yet. Let's just, I was hoping that, we had that 5 waves and we said, well, we've got 5 waves there. There's a bit of an overlap there, but crude is a bit crude in its patterns now and again. So we could go long above that point there. That was the aim. And then we said, well, we'll be able to look for the B wave and A, B and C wave coming in, But it hasn't really given us a nice definition of an ABC pattern. I mean, we've got 5 waves to that little structure, and then we got this impulse wave here. How do you include that? This is the same problem we're having in stocks. And when you're around large numbers like this too, the market is always pulling back. It pulls it to this number, it tries to get away, it pulls it back, it pulls it back. So it's always pulling on it, and it can skew the wave count. So do we look at this as the A wave here, then A, B, C for the B wave, and down for the C wave, and that's the low, and then we're moving up here? That doesn't count very nicely as an impulse wave. Partly it does, but yeah, so it's still not there yet, and would want to be, go long above a B wave up here, but we don't have that. Then I'll go long above the 90. If we had a nice classic trading levels pattern here, would do that as well. But we're so close to the low here, so that means that we could certainly come down further in this point. And it's always made a habit of making a new low and bouncing back, like new low, bouncing back, new low, bouncing back. So I'm not quite sure where to put this 1 and 2 yet, even if that was the case. Do we go somewhere into this space here for that, I'm not quite sure just yet how to approach this, but the good solid buying opportunity for crude is not there just yet. Okay, so we need to just be a bit more patient on that. And natural gas, we were looking at, well, on the daily chart, the story, we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. And I was just labeling it wave A, and then wave B here, and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then moving up further for that. This pattern in here is it's a little bit complicated, and you know, it's uglier than me, and yeah, it's hard to sort of pin it down. But the thing is that we've got kind of three waves here, haven't we? You know, that's the thing, and we've got it's pulled back into the box. So all we need for this now is we just need to get some sort of confirmation that we've got some move up here as some sort of impulse wave, isn't it? You know, and then we can build on top of this. So we've been waiting for this pullback here for a while, and you know, it's been a couple of weeks, and the low could be in here now. So now we need to watch for impulse waves to the upside. But at the same time too, this wave B here, that can be over here, and we have this here as a big A wave, an ABC for the B wave up here, taking the top out as an expanded flat, and then coming back down here for a C wave, coming, you know, just pulling back into this space, and then going up. So that was always on the cards as well, and we've got that sitting on the 5K tick chart. So yeah, I mean, you know, we've had this here. Is it true or not? It doesn't really matter. It would only become of interest if the 61.8% here, if this became the resistance at this point, you know, then we would look at this coming down here further. So over to the 2K tick chart. So this is where we were looking for 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 here. So I have made a bit of a mess in here with this, and it hasn't been an easy pattern. And the thing is, you know, wave 2 should be simple and sharp, you know. So yes, the A wave was sharp, but this is all a bit complicated. This sort of reminds me of a wave 4, you know. So we need to be, this would be a nice wave too, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Thank you very much. And then an impulse wave, a pullback, on you get, and away you go. But it could be possible here. I guess one of the good things is here, I mean, how do we count this down here? That's the other thing, you know. I've got this as an A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave down here. Obviously there's overlapping wave structure, so we can't call that, but we can go into some WXY, or we could put wave A over here, and we could put wave B over here and look at wave C here. It makes wave A pretty big and ugly as well. So there's a whole lot of issues with all of this. So we kind of revert to the impulse wave over here, because this move here, for example, that's impulsive. That's 5 waves, right? So that means what we need to do is we need to be, I mean, it'd be nice to take out the top there. That would solve a few problems. But in the meantime, you know, if this was some sort of, if this market was going to move lower, well, then it would fail, you know, around the 50-60% mark here. Didn't mean to do that so high, but there. So what we could say to ourselves, well, if that's the danger point of this being an impulse, say down for 1 here and ABC back for 2, and then moving down here further, the more that the $9 here becomes this tested support here, you know, like it's nice and got some stuff sitting on here and starting to move up here, then you could probably go with that, you know. So we could probably build in through group 1 here, so 9, 10, close enough, 9, 10, 20, and 30. Then after 30 is 50. These are all places that you can add on once you can visualize support on them, and then 8 up here. So yeah, I mean, it's the same thing here. We didn't go long here because we wanted a nice support here on that, or that taken out. And it's the same story over here as well. I mean, how do you want to count all of this here? Is all really quite sort of volatile, isn't it? You know, you could go, you know, if you took that as the high, you could go 1, 2 here, and maybe 3 to here, or 3 to here, and ABC back here for that. So is it possible to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and ABC for 4 and down for 5? Not really, because we're overlapping that. But I don't know, we've got to be a bit philosophical about it and find a way in here, really. That's what we're just trying to do. We've been patiently waiting for all of this, and I was hoping that we'd get support up here on top of this top of group 1 here, but that just wasn't the case either. And now we've pulled back deeper into this, which is good in its own way, but now we need to rinse and repeat and look for support on this, on that $9, and then start building through these levels here with very small positions, you know. And we still got to get through this number here, which is not going to be that easy as well, you know. We can just get, if we do get 5 waves up here, just imagine that, then we would be being pulled back here again deep into this support here for that, you know. So it's it'll be a pretty tough wild journey, you know, if that's just going to continue to push up from that point. Doesn't really normally do that at this number. It's normally the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then an ABC pattern here. That's the norm here. So I'll keep an eye on that, but I can't see how I can count a pattern to suit that classic trading levels pattern there for that. So anyway, one step at a time, that 9 needs to become the support. Well, that's it really. It's just the Australian dollar, not just the Australian dollar, but the Australian dollar. I mean, it's a commodity dollar too, you know what I mean? And the US dollar index is moving up higher, and the commodities are under pressure, so it creates pressure for this as well. And the euro and the pound will be the same. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.